Embla Books presents A Generation of Vipers, Book 4 in the Nell Ward Mysteries series, written by Sarah Yarwood-Lovett and read by Kristin Atherton. Chapter 1. Wednesday, 6th of July, 4 p.m. D.I. James Clark trudged towards the white police shelter shielding the forensic officers and the evidence they toiled amongst. The white tent billowed and surged in the wind, straining at its tethers, as if about to fly away across the desolate heath. James would have given anything to do exactly that. Instead, he turned his collar up against the driving rain and scanned the grey horizon for his DCI, Val Johnson. The Heath's small car park, in the shadows of the nearby charcoal columns of Pendlebury's Heath Rise estate, was teeming with police vehicles, but no new car had arrived. James's shoulders slumped. He still had to prove his worth in this role, and it didn't bode well that Val wanted to join him. The dark storm clouds, swollen with rain and unseasonably oppressive for a July afternoon, added to his foreboding. It made Furze Heath, stretching out beyond the car park, look especially forbidding. To him, it had always looked grim and barren. Short, spiky red-brown grasses made the landscape look scorched, with bronzing bracken and bristly scrub leading to copses of conifers and scattered birch trees. But it was criss-crossed with paths, the main two leading around the periphery to the north and east, and the common stomping ground of the residents of Heath Rise. All his colleagues knew the Heath Rise estate well. Too well. The 60s architect's dream of modern high-rise living had, over the decades, descended into blocks stricken with poverty, bored teens, casual violence, and an imploding community. His chief constable saw it as a blemish on the county's record in England's southeast. Even though James wasn't a particularly religious man, whenever he was called out there, the thought, "there but for the grace of God," always streaked through his mind. These days, call-outs to Heath Rise happened less and less. As the tower blocks had fallen into disrepair and dereliction, people had moved out. Now the place was almost abandoned. The general gloom made him keen to get on with the investigation, to have something to actively think about. At the cordon around the shelter's perimeter, James pulled the white protective suit over his clothes, glad for once of the extra layer, then the blue boot covers and gloves. Ducking under the cordon, he skirted around the scenes of crime officers and approached the pathologist, kneeling over the prone body. Dr. Saunders looked up, her body tensing when she saw James. "Is Val here?" When James shook his head, she stood up. "Then we should wait. You could talk to the person who found our victim." Her head jerked towards a pair of police constables speaking to someone sitting on the ground. His gaze followed her gesture, but James could only make out the silver blanket wrapped around the civilian's shoulders, flashing between the bodies of the officers. His team would take thorough notes, and Saunders' solicitous concern grated, especially as her focus always lasered on the body and, usually, taking him through her findings. "I'm sure Val wouldn't mind if we made a start." "This isn't just a body, James. This is a cold case waking up." She nodded at the estate, then the crammed car park. "And we're not exactly being subtle about it, are we? The press will have a field day. Again. We've at least managed to get the cordons up and a tent, but I'd really like reinforcements." James's mind dredged unsolved cases. Something about a connection to the Heath wormed in his brain until he gaped. "Oh, God. Of course." Saunders nodded. "I remember the helpful headlines last time.